The 12 nation dared to chase the crown, and now only four remain. The stakes a golden ticket to the grand finale of the African Women's Football. The journey has been intense, emotional, and unforgettable. And tonight we step into the fire. Welcome to Casablanca, Morocco, the iconic Stade El Abiza Oli, where history is about to be written once again. It's the first semi-final of the WAFCON 2025, and it's a clash drenched in rivalry, pride, and legacy. The Super Falcons of Nigeria, 9 times champion, Africa's most decorated side, takes on their arch rivals, the defending queens, Banyana of South Africa. This isn't just a football match, it's a rematch of dreams and heartbreaks. Finals and battles, Nigeria are hunting for what they've called Mission S, their 10th title in this era, while South Africa are desperate to prove they're no one-hit wonder. Tembi Kagnala, South Africa's talisman, is out of this competition, but that doesn't mean the firepower is gone. Enter the stylish, the technical, the ever elegant Linda Motalo, a magician with the ball and a nightmare for defenders. Nigeria, on the other hand, look sharp, ruthless, and rested, after a dominant win over Zambia in the quarters finals. They didn't break sweat in that one, and that speaks volumes. South Africa had to dig deep all the way to penalties to edge past Senegal in their own match. Their resilience was tested, and now they face the ultimate test. Will the Super Falcons fly high once more, or can Banyana keep their crown? 90 minutes, maybe more, starts between glory and heartbreak. Once on the set, and sparks will fly tonight, and you don't want to miss that. And you wake up to Premier Sport Fan Center. My name is Adi Michelle, and I'll be your host, your lead host for tonight's commentary-based game between Nigeria Super Falcons and the Banyana Queens of South Africa. It has started, and it's Nigeria playing their all-green attire, playing from the left to right of our screens, while South Africa playing their all-game. Might just be a chance for the first go for the Super Falcons. They find themselves in the box there, and the cross easily defended there by the Banyana, and straight into the hands of Ijamulusi, who got a goal for the Super Falcons in that game against Zambia. It's Nigeria early on, Plumtree with the ball there on the wing, just tries to set the cross, but easily cut out there by the South African defenders. And the South Africa who are trying to get into this game as early as possible, when Nigeria dominating early possessions against their arch rivals in this one. Who is going to get the victory in this game between Nigeria and South Africa? You can come to the comment section of Premier Sport Fan Center and tell us who you think or what you think the scoreline will be at the end of 90 minutes. Still Nigeria in the box there, might still be a chance for the Super Falcons, and in the box there, and the South Africa who are doing a lot of defending right now. Pumping on the ball there, finds a teammate, and yeah, might just be a chance for a shot there, chose to go out there and finds his Nigerian teammate Aloze straight into the hands of the captain Rashida Tajibade, cross into the box there, and yeah, might just be a chance for the Falcons with that beautiful goal. What a chance there, but the end of the day it turned out to be a wasted effort. And yes, that is the Super Falcons of Nigeria trying. Jennifer Echegini, who plies a trade with PSG in the French League there, with that beautiful moment for the Super Falcons, but couldn't turn the Reds a shot across goal. The goalkeeper was beaten there, but she couldn't get that shot into the back of the net. So it's a goal kick right there to South Africa. You can see the intentions being showed by the Nigerian ladies in this encounter, that they want to get a victory, they want to get a scoreline in this encounter. You can see the Nigerian manager there, Justin Madugu, is the manager of the Nigerian team after replacing the elsewhere Randy Wardrum, who was the former manager of the Super Falcons. The last time these two sides played out together was in the semi-final of the last WAFCON, if I'm not mistaken, which South Africa went on to win. Nigeria finished the fourth in that competition, losing to Zambia, who they defeated in the quarterfinal some days ago. So Nigeria actually aiming for what they call Mission X in this competition. Let's see if the Falcons can get their hands on the 10th competition. They are yet to consider going in this competition, which makes them formidable at the back and having the best defense in this competition. It's an unchanged starting 11 for the manager, Justice Madugu. A lot of football analysts have said that yes, he actually had to get to the quarterfinal before he could go to what they termed as the best starting 11 for the Falcons, and they've actually come into this competition looking brighter. Starting with the goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, who is yet to concede a goal in this competition. It's a 4-3-3 for the formation for the Falcons, and here's a chance for the Falcons to attack there. And Iozo with the ball there returns the back and finds the Plumtree. Plumtree comes forward there, good defensive work there from the South African defender, and South Africa will look to attack against the Falcons. Easily got one one back there, but the referee says there was an infringement there, and this Nigerian player sporting number 18, the legendary Alimat Ainde there, was actually the culprit here, bringing out the South African number 12. That is the striker for South Africa, Sopo Zenwe, was brought down there. So it's a free kick to South Africa, which will be taken there by Magama. We can also see the legendary manager, the legendary player of South Africa, also now the manager, the Siri De Ellis here, also on our screen. She'll be looking to get another one of the Nigeria counterpart in this encounter. A free kick for South Africa there. Magama with a long one tries to play it into the Nigerian defense there, but that was a wasted effort there from the South African defender, and it's a throw-in to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Plumtree with the ball there to take the throw-in from the Nigerian side. As I was saying about the starting level, Nadoze, who is here to consider going this competition, is the preferred goalkeeper for Nigeria. We'll be looking at the Nigerian defense in this encounter. Who the Nigeria starts with? At the back, we have Plumtree, who is starting as a left back for the Super Falcons in the defensive pair of Dimei and Oale, while at right back is Michel Alozie. In midfield is the midfield trio of Jennifer Ichegini, Alimat Aide, and Rashidat Ajibade, the captain. Up front is Yelzio Esther Okoronkwo, who has about 4 assists in this competition, and they go to her name, and also Jamilusi is also starting for the Super Falcons in this encounter. Looking for the South Africa starting level is the goalkeeper is Lamini. Yes, the goalkeeper who was who got South Africa that ticket to the semi-final after heroics in the penalty shootout during the quarterfinal stage against Senegal. And in defense, we have Magama, who is playing as a right back. We have a centre back pair of Mbane Maktubela, while at left back we have another Lamini right there. He might just be a chance for the Super Falcons. Finds himself in the box there. He has a chance. Esther Kuroko got straight at goal there, but easily defended and easily sent out there by the goalkeeper. And it's a corner kick to the Super Falcons. It's early stages in this game, and we are just getting straight into the 9th minute. But the Super Falcons are showing promises and improvement in this one. That they actually want to get the victory in this one. They are not scared of their South African opponents in this one, and they're taking the game straight to the WAFCON defending champions and looking really promising in the early stages of this game. Opening 10 minutes, we've seen 2 chances to the Super Falcons. Sorry, that chance fell straight into the path of Iezio, but couldn't direct that across into the back of the net. So it's a corner kick to the Super Falcons. A tip save there from the South African goalkeeper, taking that out of threatening territory for the South Africans. But they have a corner kick to defend right now in the 9th minute of this encounter. And it's still 0-0 between Nigeria and South Africa in this one. A corner kick for the Super Falcons. The captain is standing on this, Rashida Tajibade. Should be sending an in-swinger into the box. Sends that into the box there, and easily defended there by the South African defender. And back in play is the Super Falcons in possession. They cross into the balls. Yeah, might just be a chance for the first goal with that beat. Was straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. It looks like Lamini might just be the stumbling block for the Super Falcons in the opening 10 minutes of this encounter. 3 chances falling straight into the path of the Super Falcons in the opening 10 minutes. And tries, they've actually not been able to beat the goalkeeper with sporting jersey number 16 for South Africa in this one. South Africa breaking out here. And it looks to attack against the Super Falcons, and into the middle of the park and finds the teammate Gamede. Gamede on the ball there, returns it back to the center back. Mbane. Mbane looks forward and finds Mutalo, who is the danger man for the South Africans in this one. Finds Rafnani. Rafnani with the ball there. Nigeria wins possession back and looks to send it back into the part of the South Africans. But here is a throw in there for the South Africans of Banyana. And it's going to be taken there by the right back there, Magama. Magama holds onto the ball for the South Africans, finds herself in the Nigerian territory, and she'll be taking this throw in for South Africa this moment. Here's a throw in for the South Africans, quickly taking there into the part of Plumtree, the Nigerian defender. And there's been an area drill between these players, and it's going out to be another throw into the Super Falcons. 10 minutes gone in this encounter, and 10 minutes has been Nigeria dominating possession, taking the game to the South Africans and not really being threatened by the South Africans in this encounter. Lost that, and Nigeria will break out against the South Africans right now. And in the middle of the park there is Ahinde with the ball there, sends it straight into Esther Walker, and the goalkeeper again to the rescue of the South Africa. And one other chance for the Falcons. And they keep on coming very close and not putting that into the back of the net. You will have a spare Esther Okoronkwo to put that into the net. And once again, she couldn't get Nigeria the opener in this game against South Africa. The Super Falcons keep on knocking on the door, but putting it in the back of the net has really been a problem for them in the first 10 minutes of this encounter. Really being composed at the back. but the frontiers have been wasteful against this South Africa. That was a clear-cut chance there for the Nigerian striker, Esther Okoronkwo. The USA-based striker couldn't put that into the back of the net. What a moment there from the South African goalkeeper, Lamini. That pressure wasn't really much on the ball, so it's going to be in our own advantage right now. South Africa on the ball there. Lamini, the goalkeeper, goes out wide and finds Magama. And Magama comes on with the ball there for South Africa. What will they make out of this? Steals onto the ball, returns it back to a centre back where she finds Mbane. Mbane returns back to Makubela. Makubela returns and finds Magama on the far right position there. Magama looks inward there, finds Ramalepe. Ramalepe lost possession. Nigeria comes forward there. The referee spotted an infringement. It's going to be a free kick to the Super Falcons. Esther Okoronkwo. We just lost that beautiful, glorious chance some moment ago. She has really been a threat in this competition. 4 assists to her name already in this competition. Really shows how prolific she can be, and looks like, yes, she is the future of the Super Falcons. Age 28 years old, the left footer for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. She has 2 goals in this competition to put to her name in this AFCON. Really, really good one for her. And 4 assists to her name, which shows how much she has been playing for the Super Falcons. 3 assists, to her name in this competition. 3 assists and 1 goal. But she needs to get more goals for the Super Falcons in this competition if they want to move or push themselves straight into the final of this competition. They keep on coming close, but coming close doesn't do it. You have to pull the ball into the back of the net. And still the Falcons back in possession. Brought out their referees. That was a fair challenge. And last place to continue. South Africa will send a long one. And Nigeria will get onto the ball. Dimeni there, who has been termed the Sergio Ramos of Nigerian female national team, finds Chiamaka Nadoze, who has just signed a contract with Brighton in the EPL from Paris FC in France. She's also a prolific goalkeeper. Jamilusi with the ball there. Beautiful player to see on the ball. And she finds Michel Aloze. Aloze comes forward, tries to play in Jamilusi. We should get onto that, but that looks like the touch was so heavy, and Jamilusi couldn't get onto that. So it's going to be a goal kick to the South Africans. While the game was on, the Duck came into the studio. The Duck of all sports, and welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Shegun. Thanks for having me. And good evening, viewers. Good evening, fans all over the world. This is International Football Tonight, and I'm so excited to be here to be part of this.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure seeing the studio. It's Nigeria against South Africa. It has always been a rivalry between our girls and the South Africans. 9 times winners are the Super Falcons, and the South Africans are the defending champions of this competition. How easy or how hard do you think it's going to be for the Super Falcons to get a victory over the Banyana tonight?
Okay, so it's not going to be funny. That rivalry has been for quite a while between males and females, between the Bafana and Super Eagles and the Banyana and the Super Falcons. We know South Africa to try to rear their head. They want to be the giant of Africa. They want to claim the sport as the top in economy, top in sports, top in all things. However, Nigeria has had a shoulder, possibly a shoulder over South Africa over the years. Nigeria has had a head in the male segment. Nigeria has gone further than them at the World Cup level. On 2 occasions, Nigeria has made second round. And South Africa has never made second round at the World Cup level. And for females, the Super Falcons has made about 9 trophies of the Africa. Yeah. I don't think Banyana has done more than 2.
Just 1.
Just 1. So we're far ahead of them in this contest. But trust South Africa. They believe they can challenge Nigeria. And the Nigerian team is not invincible, of course. No team is invincible. We saw how Chelsea overpowered PSG the other day. That's like an underdog miracle story happening. So Banyana will hope to have an underdog story happen today too, so they could qualify again for the finals, and they can challenge for the trophy as a consecutive trophy, which will give them at least some credible bragging rights in Africa should they win this trophy again. But it will be tough for them because these Nigerian players are very good.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for a slight error there, that would have been an opener by Okoronkwo there. But even at that, there's still a lot of chance for Nigeria. I see Nigeria going through here so very with a good margin here.
Okay, that's how it pans out. We are straight into the 15th minute, approaching the 16th minute. It's still early days in this encounter. There's still a lot of time to go in this one. Still 0-0 at the 16th minute as we are waiting the first goal in this encounter. Let's look straight to this, some of the head-to-head highlights between these two sides. The last meeting between the South Africans and the Nigerian ladies ended a 2-1 victory for the South Africans, and that was on their way to winning the 2022 WAFCON group in the WAFCON group stage. And the goals were scored there by Sepo Zenwe, who is also leading the line for South Africa tonight, and also Idaya Magalia also got a goal, and also Nigerians Rashida Tajibade got a stoppage goal for Nigeria, consolation goal in that encounter for the Super Falcons in that encounter. It's the 12th WAFCON meeting between Nigeria and South Africa tonight, and this is their 8th consecutive clash at the WAFCON since 2006. They've only missed a meeting in the 1998 and 2004 editions. The Super Falcons have 8 wins, including a win on penalties in the 2018 finals, while the South Africans have only managed to defeat the Nigerian ladies twice at the WAFCON. So when it comes to head-to-head statistics, it looks like it favors Nigeria, but it's one thing for head-to-head, and it's one thing for reality on the pitch. So 90 minutes
absolutely
is what we are looking at.
Head-to-head records, we're looking at books, you're looking at statistics. Yes, so much statistics favored PSG, so much statistics favored Brazil. Remember Brazil against Germany in 2014, Rio de Janeiro. That was an upset that hadn't happened in 70 years. Brazil never lost at that ground, Rio de Janeiro, at that Maracana Stadium for 70 years.
And but that game, they lost about 7.
They lost. It was a 7-1. Wow, it was a whooping encounter. Very embarrassing. So statistics, of course, are different from reality in football. That's why football is a beautiful thing. It's a reality show. You don't plan it. You don't already program it. There's no editing to it. It is how you sit in front of the camera that you appear in football.
Okay, two sides taking on each other when it comes to experience of playing this on the big stage. You can always have that from the Nigerian ladies and the South Africans. Both are world representative of Africa at the Olympics and when it comes to the World Cup. And we are straight into the 19th minute. Still no go to showcase in this one. And gradually the South Africans are coming into this encounter, taking the game to the Super Falcons. Can they get the first goal, or will it be Nigeria who will come back to get the first goal? Here's a chance for South Africa into the box there. But Chiamaka Nadoze will gather that for the Super Falcons. She's still yet to concede a goal in this competition. Went through 3 games in the group stage without conceding a goal and straight into the quarterfinal. She didn't concede a goal against Zambia, even with Banda Brabra starting for the Zambians, but she was kept quiet in that encounter. And now against South Africa, is it possible she go through the whole of the competition without conceding a goal?
We know Chiamaka Nadoze, the last Women's African award, she was the runner-up. I think she was a winner for the goalkeeper. She was the best woman at the goalpost in the entire year for Africa. And she also proved that where she plays her trade
at
in
Paris FC.
Paris FC, and Paris FC, of course, won the league for the women in that region as well. If not for the prowess of the likes of Lyon that keeps them out of Champions League, they will have done better at Champions League level too. So Nadoze may just go through this encounter with a clean sheet. She may get to the final with a clean sheet if the defense can protect her enough, because she has all it takes.
Okay, and there's always one name the Nigerians have been really talking about. It has to be the legendary striker Asisat Oshoala. Some angles have been saying that yes, now is the time for her to just pack a bag and move out from the Super Falcons. But she's just 30.
Yeah, if you look at it, well, football age and performance don't usually go together sometimes. Asisat Oshoala is not starting this match. And she didn't start the last match too. She came in as a substitute at about 68 minutes or so. And she couldn't register an assist or a goal as well. And after she came in, or she came on the game, somebody still scored. And she wasn't the one that assisted her. Neither was she the one that scored. So what it means is she's now a second fiddle at that scorer's position. However, you can't just discard her because of maybe a tournament or so. You still need to give Asisat a chance to remain on the team. She may improve as we go on. She may get her chances. She might even be the one that will give us the winning goal at the very, very important time. But as it is, maybe she shouldn't pack her bags yet. She's not that old. I know women's football, they still play till they are very
Yeah,
old.
to the late 30s, we still have them
40s.
playing.
Yeah.
Ono maybe was 41 at the time she
Exactly.
retired from the Super Falcons.
And they grow stronger the older they grow.
Yeah.
So for me, Azizat is still young to retire. She should continue to fight.
Yeah, you can get that from the dog here. We still want to see the legendary Azizat Oshoala, 6 times African Women Footballer of the Year. And she's always a prize asset for the Super Falcons whenever she's around, right? Even when she's playing or whenever she's not playing. She's a source of motivation to the Nigerian ladies. So we're straight into the 22nd minute of this encounter. It's still 0-0 between the Nigerian ladies and the Super Falcons and the Banyana ladies in this encounter. Don't forget the last time they both faced off was right there at the 2022 WAFCON, which South Africa went on to win. They defeated the Nigerian ladies 2-1 in that encounter. So the Nigerian girls are here to seek revenge against their arch rival. No, I know, but probably the rivalry is because of the number of matches they've both played. But when you look at the number of victories on the side of the Super Falcons, having 8 victories over the South Africans, and the South Africans just managing 3 victories over the Super Falcons, I don't think that is much of a rivalry between these two sides.
What the rivalry actually came on because Nigeria was defeated on the way to getting their trophy last year, or the last encounter for this. So that's where it became a rivalry thing. Okay, we defeated you the last time, irrespective of what you used to be. We're now the new lords in town. We're now the hero here. We're the kings of the jungle now. So Nigeria has to dispel that. The Super Falcons have to prove that it was just a fluke that the Banyana were able to do what they did last year. So we need to see that on the field of play, and it needs to reflect at the end of this game. 90 minutes is what we're looking for. I think they have just 70 minutes to prove that.
Yeah, 71 minutes to play in regulation time in this encounter because we're straight into the 23rd minute of those games. Still no goal. A South African player has been wheeled out of the pitch, and let's say he should be able to continue this encounter. But play has restarted, and it's the Nigerian goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie with the ball. Next season, she'll be playing a trail in the Women's Super League in England with Brighton. So it will really be great to see her playing applying her trade in the Women's Super League in England. There was a collision there between the goalkeeper Lamini of South Africa and the Nigeria Iezo there, but the goalkeeper is currently down. Some minutes ago, we saw South Africa wheeled out one of their players. I was still waiting for confirmation of the player.
That collision was absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary from the Nigerian striker. She could have done better there.
Yeah, she should get a booking for it or something.
Let's see that again. Because I think the goalkeeper got the ball already before she went straight into that tackles. Probably because she had her eyes on the ball and not on the onrushing goalkeeper in that situation. Now, Lamini is a name the South Africans won't really want to see go out injured in this encounter. She was the star woman in that game against Senegal. Saving 2 penalties from the Senegalese ladies in the quarterfinal, and they played out a 0-0 draw in the all of 120 minutes, and that game went straight into penalty shootout, which South Africa won, and yeah, they find themselves in the semi-final. They've lost one name in the midfield. And right now you can see the Siri Elias, the captain, the coach there, are really sweating on a goalkeeper Lamini, who she wants to see being taken out of this encounter. Straight into the 25th minute. We can see South Africa preparing a substitution on the bench right there, and spotting the jersey number 8, Hilda Magaya, will be coming into this encounter. Now, Hilda Magaya was one who got the second goal the last time they defeated the Super Falcons 2-1. So the 3 goal scorers in that game will surely be on the pitch right now.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to have the goal scorer, and that's going to it's a big loss for them because their regular starter has just been taken off, and you have the substitute. Though she might have been the goal scorer, she was a substitute, and that's not a good one at 20 minutes. And now the goalkeeper is also rolling on the floor now. We don't know her fate yet, but I suppose it wasn't a big issue for her. Possibly just wants to get herself in order before she gets up. A little spray, a little bit of massage and stretching, although the goalkeeper is warming up, which is not a good sign for South Africa at the moment. But as it is, it's still looking good for Nigeria. Let's just hope it looks good for South Africa too, in fairness.
Okay, that's how it goes there. South Africa making a big force into their first substitution in this encounter. Hilda Magaya has been thrown into this encounter by the South African manager after that unnecessary injury to one of their own. It's India currently plays a trace with Kansas City Current in the United States of America. That is where she plays a trace. So one more experience being thrown into this game by the South Africans, and the goalkeeper there, we can see her. She's back on her feet. Looks like Lamini, sorry, will be able to continue this encounter. And the Lamini plays for Mamelodi Sundowns in the South African League, and she's 32 years old, which shows how much experience is really in that goalkeeper. We can't really call her a young lady at the age of 32. So some kicks, game started back there. It's Mbani on the ball there, sends it straight to Lamini in the back of the South African defense. Lamini finds Gamadi. Yes, the Nigeria regaining possession against the South Africans. They'll look to attack against South Africa. Yes, the captain on the ball there. Lost possession, but Nigeria regains possession. And in the middle of the park there is Jennifer Guinea winning the ball. Finds Tosin Demain. Tosin Demain finds Ashley Plumtree. Plumtree will move forward, but lost possession into the part of the South Africans. And Makubela will take that out, and there's another throw into the Super Falcons in this encounter. 27 minutes gone in this encounter, and there's a South African player who's spotting the jersey number 2 right there, Ramalefe, who has kicked that out. South Africa regains possession against the Super Falcons, and GM might just bring a chance, but that time, this time around, Magama is not having any of that. As she sends it a long one, the Super Falcons get hold of that, but seems like there's an injury there to the legendary Nigerian defender, Ohale, right there, and you can see her holding her face there. Looks like that was a big hit on the Nigerian centre back. Let's just hope Oluchi Ohale will be able to continue this encounter. Osinachi Ohale, sorry, who currently plays her trades with Pachuca in the Mexico League. She's also 33 years old. She's also one of those legendary players, one of those players with about 3 or 4 WAFCON title with the Super Falcons, and our experience is still very much also needed in the art of the Nigerian defense.
Of course, Ohale is about the most experienced in that defense. The Megin just joined recently. Of course, we know Plumter has been there for a while, but Ohale has been there even before Plumter came on. And Aloze, Aloze, came from the America. And Ohale is somebody that has tasted Nigerian football before she moved on to play in Europe. And she's doing very well where she plays, and she's a very important rock in the defense of Nigeria Super Falcons, and not just a defense rock, a motivation for the midfielders as well as the attack. We're going to need her experience here. We should hope that she doesn't get taken off by that tackle. That was a direct tackle to her ankle. She was in possession of the ball while the South African went for it with her studs, and I think it must have been the force of the stud that pushed down a bit, but I guess she should be up and running very soon.
Yeah, we can see her snatching back on her feet and looks to be getting back onto the turf and ready to continue this style with the Super Falcons. Tackles flying in this encounter from left to right in this game. We just hope we won't be seeing much injuries at the end of the game. The referee is there to dish out a yellow card in this encounter, so it looks like those tackles are still a bit within fear, situation in this one. Quickly taken there by the Super Falcons by Dumain. Here is a chance for South Africa to run riot against Nigeria. Beautifully won back in the middle of the park, but lost back there. And here's South Africa will look to attack. Gamade with the ball there, tries to play it into the part of our teammates. And the Nigerians will defend well there, but send that into safety, and it's going to be a throw into South Africa. We've seen 30 minutes of action. Jennifer Echegini in there, who plays for PSG in the French league there, doing a lot of defensive work there for the Super Falcons. South Africa back in possession, looks to send the cross into the box there, successfully sent to a Plumtree. We get our head onto that, and half cleared there, and it's going to be another throw into the South Africans. Half an hour off the ball already right there in Morocco, and we're yet to get a goal between Nigeria and South Africa. Don't forget, is a commentary based on watch along program on Premier Sports Fan Center. You can also go straight into the comment section and tell us what you feel about the first 30 minutes of this encounter between the Super Falcons and the South Africans. And this one, South Africa in possession, looks to attack against the Super Falcons. Plumtree there to do defensive work, won the ball back cleanly, neatly for the Super Falcons, and backing part in the play is Plumtree, who clears that halfway. And here's going to be another throw into the South Africans. We've seen the first 30 minutes of this encounter. Yes, Nigeria have come close a couple of times, but unable to put it into the back of the net, and gradually the South Africans are growing into this encounter.
Yeah, so the way it is, the South Africans are getting more confident by the minute, And what it means is they will challenge Nigerians more than they've been doing. Of course, we expect that to happen. The more confidence they grow, the more they're able to challenge. And if you look at the statistics of this game, you look at the possession, with South African holding 62% of the possession. What it means is they are a lot more stable and more confident than the Nigerian Falcons, Super Falcons rather, at 38% of possession. And that's actually not good enough for this kind of encounter, because the Nigerian players are supposed to be the overlords here. They're supposed to be the superior players, while the South Africans are supposed to do follow-up. But the South Africans have been playing more of the ball, 62% of the ball to 38%. And they have just missed the chance at the crossing at the moment. And then they secured 3 fouls to South Africa, 6 fouls to Nigeria. So it means the Nigerians have had to do more defensive work up and behind, and conceding 6 fouls already in 30 minutes. I just hope they don't get cards and possibly get expelled from the game as we go on. 6 kicks or free kicks to South Africa, 3 to Nigeria. No yellow cards, no red cards yet. 1 corner kick just for Nigeria, and another corner kick recently for South Africa. So 1 corner kick apiece for each of them. So the game is actually on the side of the South Africans as we speak. Apart from the initial attempts made by Nigeria, South Africa has been in control of this game.
Okay, let's say we'll pull the ball into the back of the net. That's what really matters in a game of football like this. The first goal, where is it going to come? Nigeria wins herself a corner kick, and it was a plump trade there with one Nigerian that corner kick. So South Africa will have to do a lot of defending at the back right now. You can see plump trade and Ijamilusi having a word of the discussion, while Ijamilusi will be taking the corner kicks, for the Super Falcons in this counter. And it's going to be a corner kick with this great chance for the Falcons to get on their first goal. Folashade Ijamilusi. I really remember that name when she was playing with Edo Queens, but right now she's currently applying a trade outside the shores of Nigeria. Here's the corner kick, but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Lamini. Yeah, that won't actually threaten the goalkeeper of the South Africa, as she easily gathered that for the South Africans. Looks like on both sides, both nations are having a stronger, dependable goalkeeper in this encounter.
Yeah, both sides have good goalkeeping. And they also enjoy good defending too, because if you look at most of their games, they concede less in their games. So as it is, it's a very slippery ground for both teams. The Nigeria supposedly have an upper hand here. However, from the statistics of this game, if anybody is going to score for us, it looks more like South Africa. The way they play, the way they attack, and how many chances they've had in the penalty area of Nigeria. They go again, South Africa will get a chance to score, cross the ball into the penalty area, and then that's been stopped by Ohale, and she will take a longish one out.
Okay, talking about the South African goalkeeper, she's also yet to concede a goal in this competition. Though South Africa have considered just one against Tanzania in the 1-1 draw played in their second game, but they got a victory over Ghana, 2-0 victory over Ghana in the first game, which she didn't concede a goal, but against Tanzania, she didn't start in that one. Against Mali, which was a 4-0 victory for South Africa, she didn't concede, and also didn't concede against Senegal, also in the quarterfinals. So both goalkeepers, Dlamini and Chiamaka Nadoze, are yet to concede in this competition. Let's see if both, but at least at the end of this game, one of them is surely going to concede one or more goals, or both rather will be losing their that record of not conceding yet in this competition. But let's see how it plays out, because currently we are in the 35th minute, 10 more minutes to play in the first half. Still no goal to showcase in this game.
Yeah, so even if they don't concede goals in regulation time,
yeah, the record stays.
The record stays. So even if the goals were considered in penalty kick-out, it really doesn't affect the records. However, they still have extra time to play. Should they not finish this game in regulation time? But we don't hope we take that long to settle this, do we?
All right, we don't really hope that. Yeah, it's on the South Africans on the ball there. Ramalefe, they were on the ball, but lost possession. Plumtree on the ball there, looks inward and finds Jennifer Ichigini. Jennifer comes forward with the ball there, tries to play in her teammates. Beautiful play there. Yezo couldn't keep hold hold of that, and the South African defender Magama wins possession for South Africa. Finds Ida in the middle of the park, and Ida returns it back to Bane. Bane on the ball there, looks inward and finds a teammate there, and they comes forward against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. You might just be a chance that they're calm, cool, and collected in the way they attack against the Nigerians. And that one threatened the Nigerian goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, and she gathers that comfortably there. Yelzio was almost put clear on chance there, but good defensive work there from the South African number 13. The experience of Mbane doing the defensive work for the South Africans. And one thing I'm seeing from the Super Falcons in this encounter, here might just be a chance for the Super Falcons. Good defensive work there again from the South Africans, but the referee spotted an infringement and says it's going to be a free kick. Is that to the Nigerians or the South Africans? Let's see, Jane doing the defending work there for the South Africans. Yelzio was almost put clear on goal there. I think it's an infringement on the South African defender right there. Should be a free kick to South Africa, yes, and rightly given there by the center referee. So South Africa, it's a throw-in, not a free kick. Looks like the referee says that was a fair challenge on the South African player. And yes, Nigeria getting themselves it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick to South Africa. Good defensive work there. And you can see the South Africans almost going straight against them. The Nigerian captain there, Rashidat Ajibade. Rashidat Ajibade formerly playing with Atletico Madrid there, but she won't be playing with Atletico Madrid come next season. It's left to say which club. We should be coming straight to the WSL, that is in England, or we should be moving straight to the United States of America to ply our trade. Only time will tell about that. And we're saying 35 minutes of action. It seems our emotions are currently getting into the better of these girls right now.
Yeah, so if you actually look at this Nigerian team, well, I think I will play Azizat Oshoala in place of Ihezuo. Ihezuo is more physicality, and she's not technical at all. She has been kicking people more than she kicks the ball. She has been involved in at least 3 infringements that could have ended at least 1 card, but for the leniency of the referee. So if the coaches are wise enough, I will think they should replace Ihezuo and bring in Azizat Oshoala and give her that position to play while Ajibade continues to run also. Because she hasn't done much required of a striker here.
Okay, yes, I'm straight into 38 minutes of this encounter. And back in the fence there, Ali on the ball there finds Michel Alozie. Alozie with the ball there, straight into her right wing, tries to play in and gets her straight into Esther Okoronkwo. Esther was onto the ball, tries to play in, back into the part of Esther. And Esther with the ball there looks inward, finds the captain, Rashida straight to Plumtree. Plumtree with the ball there, looks inward and finds the dog's favorite Super Falcon player there, Hazel there, returns it back to Plumtree. Plumtree looks inward there, finds Jennifer. Jennifer with the ball there, beautiful piece of skill there from the Nigerian midfield. But currently lost possession, but 1 possession back, straight into the middle of the park. Alimat Ainde on the ball there finds the Plumtree. Plumtree cuts inward with the ball there. Nigeria looking, still finding for a way to break through this stubborn South African defense. Penetrating has really been a problem for them in this encounter. Plumtree on the ball there as Ramalefe to beat there, but Ramalefe actually kicked that out for a throw-in to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 39 minutes gone in this encounter. Still no goal to report in this encounter.
Yes, still no goal to report, but Nigeria is playing better now. They are actually taking the ball to the South Africans and bringing the South Africans to their knees in defense. Right now, Nigeria has a chance, and that is also blocked. That was blocked by the South Africans, and South Africa will take a counter now.
Looks like a 2 against 2 in this encounter. South Africa attacking against Nigeria there and spotting the jersey number 12 attacking for South Africa there. Either was that with the ball there, and yes, I'm back in play. South Africa in the middle of the park, sends it straight to the wing as she finds her teammate and will really prefer a cross. That won't beat the goalkeeper. I think that is actually too light to beat Chiamaka Nadozie in the goalpost. Now, Ramalefe looks like to be the threatening player. The South African winger has sending a lot of in-swingers into the part of the Super Falcons. That wasn't really close against the Nigeria, and Nadozie allows that to fly, and it's going to be a goal kick. So the Super Falcons of Nigeria, 40th minute of this encounter, 5 more minutes. There's one thing about ESU. You know, she has this kind of physicality and presence of that looks like a Victor Osimhen, and the way she charges against her opponent. Yes. I think yes, and probably the physicality is why the Nigerian manager Justice Magudu actually favored starting her in this encounter.
Exactly, which is absolutely not working here. Because if you look at physicality, when you have good refereeing going on, you're just going to keep conceding infringements against your team. Nigeria has conceded 8 infringements against South Africa's 3 or 4. And that doesn't speak well, because she may just get a card and get removed from the game. She continues to pull on their clothes, continue to press them down that way. So football has gone beyond physicality. Much as Osimhen charges on try to, conceding free kicks has to be avoided. You need to charge with sense. Osimhen has a lot of sense in his charging. And even when he's pressing defenders, you can see his technical way of doing that. And when he gets the ball, you could see him with ideas. This young lady has got the ball a couple of times, and she hasn't demonstrated much ideas.
It's a chance for South Africa, a chance for them to go ahead against the Super Falcons. But the end prologue there was actually a wasteful one, not really a strong one there from the South Africa. Well, this is one of their first chances of going face-to-face against the Super Falcons goalkeeper. But she couldn't send that into the back of the net. It's going to be a goal kick on the Super Falcons. Healed out with that ball there. I think the pressure of the onrushing Nigerian defender actually put pressure on her, and she couldn't get a shot the way she would have wanted. And it's a goal kick to the Super Falcons. And gradually, the South Africans are also coming closer to get the first goal against the Super Falcons. There's going to be a throw into South Africa, and it's Magama will be taking this throw in for the South Africans. Takes it straight and finds Ramalefe. Ramalefe would return it back to Magama. Magama looks inward and finds a teammate there. South Africa coming forward, but Plumtree retrieves that for the Super Falcons, and that should be a throw into the Super Falcons. They've rightly given the Super Falcons with a throw in. Plumtree on the ball there, and she holds onto the ball, tries to play in her teammates, gets it straight into the path of her teammate. And here's Rashidat Ajibade with the ball there, drops it straight into the path of Eyuzio. Eyuzio tries to play in Esther Okoroko. Esther on the ball there, asks Sagado to beat in the fence. Beautifully, Jamiusi in the box there with the ball for the Super Falcons, and drops it into the path of her teammate there. But that pass was actually a short one, and where a short-lived attack for the Super Falcons. It's going to be a throw-in to the Nigerians right there in the 43rd minute of this encounter. Breaking through into the defense of the South Africans really been a problem for the Super Falcons, and thanks to the centre-back pair of Makubela and Mbane. But each time the Super Falcons finds themselves in the box, they look threatening against the South Africans.
If you look at the gameplay that just ended in a throw-in, Ihezuo didn't actually intend to cross that ball. She wanted to dribble back. It was a deflection from the right back, Magama, that took the ball away from her and then sent it across the goal area. Unfortunately, Okoronkwo couldn't do much with it. She preferred to dribble than to play one-to-one. She had a player with her.
That was Jamilusi there, yeah. Jamilusi.
Okay, Jamilusi could have done one-to-one, but she decided to go alone, and then she dropped a pass that wasn't even close to her teammate. She just dropped a blind pass, which is not good enough. You can't score if you continue to give the ball to your opponent in their area, because they're going to have more of them in their own penalty area than your number. It is actually standard. So you can't continue to take a gamble in that area. You should pass ball to people.
Yes, Jamilusi in the box there with for the ball for the Super Falcons. Is that going to be a penalty? Let's see the referee point straight to this ball there.
A handball.
Says it's going to be a penalty, and a transfer the Super Falcons to break the deadlock in this encounter. And you can see the Nigerian fans on the pitch there going straight into wide jubilation. And the Jamilusi forcing that penalty of the South Africa defender. The Cyril Elias, the manager right there in disbelief that how did that happen. Beautiful piece of skill there from Jamilusi, but Mbane had the hand onto that, and I think that the VR will be calling the referee to have a check on that, because it looks like both hands was outside of the natural position. But let's see what Vera will feel about that. Look at that. I think she stretched her hand.
Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul. No debate. No debate on that.
I think a beautiful play there from the
We'll take that for Nigeria.
She was going direct at goal.
Thank you very much.
But she won Nigeria a penalty there. Yes, a chance for the Super Falcons to break the deadlock, and also against Lamini, who is also good from. She's also a set piece specialist. Good from the good at saving penalties for the South Africans. And this time around, the Nigerian captain Rashidat Ajibade, who is here to score a goal in this competition. And we can see the South Africans are trying to play with her head right there. The captain Jane of South Africa going straight to having a discussion with Rashidat Ajibade, who has handled the ball right now. Here's a chance for Nigeria to finally break the deadlock at the 45th minute. Rashidat Ajibade, who is also looking for her first goal in this competition. And don't forget, the last time Nigeria played against South Africa, she was also the one who got a Nigerian goal in the dying embers of that encounter. Rashidat Ajibade back there right there with the ball there, go straight and straight into the back of the net. It's the opening goal in this encounter at the
Nigeria
45th
has a
minute.
goal.
And it's Rashidat Ajibade with a goal for the Super Falcons of
It's a
Nigeria.
goal.
It looks like, yes, it's a well-deserved goal for the Nigerian
For
ladies
Nigeria.
in this encounter. Sending the fans into white jubilation right there. And you can see them celebrating. We have a lot of Nigerians right there in Morocco. And it looks like, yes, it's another home for the Nigerians.
Yeah, apart from the Nigerians in Morocco, you see a lot of Nigerian supporters there. You never know how much people are interested in your trade until you get out there. Take Nigeria to America, you see a lot of fans who are not even Nigerians. And in Morocco, you see a lot of people associating with Nigeria out there. So much jubilation in the crowd, so much celebration there. In fact, I'm going to say this, Shegun. Look at the way Nigerians are just jumping up and down and mobilizing. They're wearing all kinds of jerseys, even Paris jerseys on some of them, you know, because they actually came for this. And you can see the number of South Africans there. They are minute in number compared to the Nigerians. And that's a good thing for African football. I think it's developing.
Okay, that's all right. This game is getting open, getting finally. Sorry, first goal rather there by Rashidat Ajibade. The last time these two sides faced off at the WAFCON in 2022, yes, it was Ajibade who got Nigeria a later goal in that counter. Talking about the manager, Desiree Ellis of South Africa, she's yet to lose a game in open play against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 2 wins and 1 draw, but lost the 2018 final on penalties against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. With that record be ending tonight with the Super Falcons be getting a victory, and they are on course to get a first half victory over the South Africans in this encounter. Let's see how it goes. But at the 45th minute, we have 3 minutes additional time by the referee, and it's Nigeria 1, South Africa 0. You can see it. The fans are really happy about that, and I think it's a well-deserved goal for the Super Falcons. Though they've not, when it comes to possession, gradually they're coming up in this encounter. South Africa seems to have the better of the ball when they hold on to the ball, but each time the Super Falcons, and I think the Super Falcons have even had more scoreable chances in this encounter than the South Africans.
Yeah, I'll agree with you that the Super Falcons have actually been closer, edging closer, but the South Africans have had more play around the penalty area of Nigeria. However, you can see the way things are turning out. In football, it's usually not by statistics, because if you look at the statistics right now, South Africa still holds the higher possession of 58%, while Nigeria is now on 42%, which means Nigeria has come up in ball possession, in gameplay, and in controlling the pace of the game. If they can continue this way, before the end of the first 45, Nigeria may just come up to about 45%, 55% or so, which means it actually shows that they suffer less. You know what happens is, when your opponent has the ball, you're suffering. If you don't have the ball, you keep running after them, looking for the ball, and you will suffer. You will tire out and fatigue faster. And you know, the emotional impact of that is that the players are going to be demoralized. So when you have the ball and you can play with the ball, you get a higher morale, and you get more incentivized to score goals. But this one goal will be a lot of incentive to the Nigerian girls. And congratulations to Rashidat and her team for that wonderful first half. The game has been blown for a halftime break.
Okay, it was a beautiful game at the end of the first half. Dlamini unfortunately conceded a goal off a penalty. Yes, it's halftime at the still El Abizaoli in Casablanca. It's advantage Nigeria. The Super Falcons lead Banyana by a goal to nil in a fiercely contested WAFCON semi-final clash. It's been a cagey tactical battle with both sides. I'm showing why they've made it this far, but it was Nigeria who struck the crucial blow at the 45th minute, taking the lead and piling the pressure on the defending champion. Rashidat Ajibade from the spot, giving Nigeria the first goal. Nigeria composed and clinical are now just 45 minutes away from the WAFCON final and one step closer to completing mission S. But South Africa would go down without a fight, and there's still plenty of drama to come in the second half of this encounter. At halftime is Nigeria 1, South Africa 0. Looking at the first 45 minutes, yes, we can say it has really been a competitive and tactical game from these two sides, and we just hope we'll have a better second half from both sides.
Yeah, so the game hasn't been bad for the first half for the women's semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations for women. And as much as they're wearing several shots at goal, there were still enough talking points in the game. For example, the first talking point will come 2 minutes into the game when Nigeria had a chance, and Nigeria was going to take a shot at goal. Okoronkwo will take a shot, but deflected by the Lamini. Lamini will stop the ball from going into the net, and a reconnecting header will also be saved by another defender of Banyana. So you actually had a double or a duet of shots at goal in the 2 minutes of the game, which will have led to Nigeria's early lead in the game. And that's one important talking point. The next one will come a few minutes later with the collision of the Nigerian player with the South African midfielder. It was actually the South African midfielder that collided with the Nigerian Rashidat Ajibade, okay, who actually took a knock on her shin, but the South African was in awkward position when that happened, so she had to be substituted. So there were other talking points too, because there was yet another chance that could have gone to go with what's her name now, Ihezu, attacking the goalkeeper, but too late to get to the ball and injuring the goalkeeper. So there were quite a number of talking points if you look at the first half of the game. Remarkable ones, and you can see the South Africans too taking about 2 or 3 crosses for Nadoze. About 2 of them went wild, and one was saved by her. And you had shots that were wide as well. If you look at the wide shots at goal, you have 1 shot on target for South Africa, 5 for Nigeria, non-hit woodworks, shot off target for South Africa, 3, and 0 for Nigeria, which means they were actually knocking on the door but couldn't get the target. But you have to get the target to score. Although you need to shoot before you can get the target. And South Africa is doing a lot of that. Block shots were 1-1 apiece. Attack was 0 offside from South Africa and 3 offsides from Nigeria. And overview of the first half, 58% of possession to South Africa, 42% to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I think it was a fair game. I think it was very interesting that these girls actually proved that they are actually best in Africa. They have to prove that tonight, and they are still leading. They have the chance on the game. One leg in the finals of the WAFCON 2025 already.
Yeah, let's see. Yes, one leg at the final of the WAFCON, and like J-Dog rightly said, it's South Africa who has dominated the possession with 58% of the ball possession, while Nigeria has had 42% of the ball possession. Total shot for the Falcons has been 6 and 1 for the South Africa. 5 shots on target for the Super Falcons and 1 shot on target for the South Africans. And that shows how wasteful our girls have been in front of goal. Having 5 shots on target in this encounter. This was the first one in the earlier stage of this encounter. A chance for the Falcons, but the goalkeeper actually gathered that happened, I think, in the first minute of that encounter. Esther Okoronkwo, I think twice or thrice I've seen her in this encounter.
In the second minute.
Should have gotten Nigeria goals before that penalty. But the talking point at the halftime has to be that penalty. Was it a deserved penalty? Was it rightly given by the referee? Was that the right decision?
Absolutely, it was an outstretched hand. It was an outstretched hand to stop the ball in the penalty area. So it's a foul on any part of the field. It's a foul. So if it happened in the box, then it's a penalty. So it was well deserved, the penalty. There's no controversy about it. In fact, there's no VAR that can overrule that, except for Madrid.
Okay, let's go straight to the South Africans. They haven't really quite found their rhythm in this encounter. What is really going wrong in their final third? Just 1 shot on target out of 5 shots in this encounter also shows that, yes, they've actually been shot from the Nigerian defense in this game.
Yeah, South Africans have been attacking, and this should have been a beautiful goal by Okoronkwo. And
the follow-up was
also just power. There was no placement. It could have been placement.
Esther should be scoring that for the Super Falcons. That should have been the first goal. And Israel with the follow-up couldn't get that also into the back of the net. Really, they've been wasteful in front of goal.
Yeah, they've been very wasteful.
But
the South Africans have not even had such opportunities. They've been throwing shots wild. And you could see the number 2 playing a longish one. She actually wanted to cross that ball for others. But the ball went towards the goal net, over and above, and entered as one of the shots that went wide in the game. So the South Africans have not really shown their presence in the very important strike area of Nigeria. They've not really gathered so much. A shot was taken. There was a one-on-one with the goalkeeper by the midfielder. However, she took the shot, I think, a little too early. It was premature, and the shot went wild. It was a good chance, but she didn't have enough power and the direction to put it where it should go.
Okay, the injured South Africa player has to be Makubela. Yes, spotting the jersey number 17. She was wheeled off at the first half. Let's still look at some of the analysis from our studio right here in Premier Sports Fan Center. You can also go to the comment section and give us your analysis of what you feel has really happened or what has transpired between these two sides in the first half. And also tell us if that penalty was a well-deserved one. Jamilusi actually forced that penalty of the South African defender there, and there was nothing she could have done there. Spotting jersey number 13, Bani, who has really been fantastic for South Africa until dashing out that penalty to the Super Falcons in that encounter. Talking about the penalties, the penalty goal for the Super Falcons, well, that's a deserved lead for Nigeria. Did they edge the half overall, or has it been a fairly balanced game until the penalty?
Yeah, it was a South African dominated game onto the penalty in terms of possession. It was a Nigerian dominated game in terms of wanting to score. So Nigeria wanted to score more. They wanted to keep the ball more. And of course, they had the ball more, but Nigeria had more chances at scoring than South Africa. So it was well deserved because whoever is hungry should get food first. I think Nigeria was hungrier at getting the goals, and they got it first.
Okay, let's go straight to the Nigerian bench, and we have a goalkeeper, Tochukwu Olueyi, on the bench for the Super Falcons, Sikiratu Isa, and we also have Shukrat Oladipo, who plies a trade with AS Roma ladies, and there's also Christy Uchebe, who plies a trade in the Portuguese league with Benfica, if I'm not mistaken. Deborah Abiodun lost her position in the starting 11 for the Super Falcons. There's also Tony Payne, who plays with Everton in the WSL. There's also Rishola Babajide, also on the bench, and Chioma Okafor, one name the Nigerian fans really wants to see play for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Ifeoma Onomodu and Asizat Oshuala are also on the bench for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. It looks like Nigeria has a very rich and experienced bench coming into this game.
Absolutely. You have a lot of players from Roma to Trinity, from America, from Sevilla. You have players from Paris FC. You have a lot of internationals on that bench who actually play in top women's football league all over the world. However, what we're going to need is how much they can gel and how much they can convert their chances. We're going to need them to be clinical in front of the goalpost and deliver.
In this encounter, we're still 45 minutes away from knowing who is going to get a victory in this one. Nigeria Mission X, are they showing signs of a title-winning mentality? And don't forget, still to come is the second semi-final between the host nation Morocco as they go head-to-head against the Black Wings of Ghana in that encounter. I really love to see the Nigeria and Ghana final. That's
what it looks like.
But Morocco is also good, and they have the home support, to cheer them up in that encounter. And we have the big second half to come, and that is the determinant factor in this encounter. This is the deciding moment in this game. What do you think should be going in the mind of the Nigerian ladies?
The Nigerian ladies are doing well. I'm guessing our women will have informed them to remain cool, keep their position as much as possible, and as much as possible, remember that this is a very physical game. South Africans are not smiling here. They are out there for blood. They want to win this, and Nigeria should remain strong. So I'm afraid Hazel might not be taken out because of the physicality of this game. But I still think she should be taken out, and let's play a more technical winger.
Probably at the 60th minute.
I said let's have a more technical player who can actually round the defenders and create more from that side rather than just lose the balls or lose the chances Nigeria has. And Azizat will bring her experience to play here, especially in the dying embers of this game. So, but for now, I think Nigeria will just remain calm and cool as we begin.
This is the start of the second half, and it's Nigeria now playing from the right to the left of our screens. The South Africa is also playing from the left to the right in their home attire, the yellow jersey in this one. South Africa back in possession. Nigeria wins possession, and here is Esther Okoronkwo on the ball. Esther will drop it straight into the path of the captain, straight into the box there, but the goalkeeper, Lamini, that's it. Oh! What was she taking there?
I guess she just didn't know. She didn't look well.
Yeah, might just be South Africa attacking against the Super Falcons. What would they make out of that? Straight into the Nigerian part there. What would they make out of that? So still on the ball. Plumcher wins the ball back for the Super Falcons. The Nigerian defender who is also completing a UEFA B license to be a football manager. Probably one of these days, probably at the end of her career, I will say I'll come back to coach the Super Falcons of
It
Nigeria.
would be lovely to see her come back and do that, especially with her experience from the youth academy of the Scandinavians where she came from.
Yeah. Okay, she's an English lady. I remember the time when she was playing with Leicester City in the English Women's Super League before moving straight to the Saudi Arabia League where she currently plays a trade with Al Nasser, the club which has Cristiano Ronaldo on their books of the male team. And also, she's not the only Nigerian playing for Al Nasser. That is also where the legendary Nigerian Francisca Odega currently plies her trade. Francisca Odega happens to be on the bench in this encounter. That's another experienced player Nigeria can also always look up to if everything is really going dicey in this encounter. Throwing for the Super Falcons, quickly taken there by Nigerians and straight into the path of Esther Okoronkwo. Esther holds onto the ball for the Super Falcons, tries to beat her lady or a man anyway, any of the two, and wins down Nigeria a throwing in that situation. It's going to be a throwing to the Super Falcons, and they are currently pressing the South Africans, not leaving any stone untouched in the early stages of the second half. They're starting from where they ended the first half, and that is what it looks like. And the goalkeeper of the South Africans, Lamini, is currently down there, and we saw her went down in the first half, and currently she's also down again in the early stages of the second half. And this might just be one sight the South African manager won't want to behold.
I think Dega is not in the.
Oh, she's not starting.
Substitution.
Oh.
She's not on the line.
Yeah, she's not on the bench. She's not on the bench tonight. Yes.
She wasn't called up for the game. And just a little correction.
She plays with Ali Tiad. Plumpton plays with Ali Tiad.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and Tiad is actually the champions in the men's segment. I'm not sure what position Ali Tiad played for the women's professional league in Saudi. And it would be nice to see some of these people, especially Nigerians who were born in diaspora, to mixed parents. You can see from her colors, the color of her skin, that she is a half caste.
Yeah.
And remember Ruben Agbola back in the 1994 Nations Cup.
And also we had the likes of Abbey George.
Abbey George will come later.
Osaze, Odemwinge,
Yeah,
and the likes
Osaze
of play
will
for
come a lot later. But the likes of Ruben were the first set of
were the first set
Oyibos
of
we
Oyibos.
had in the Nigerian squad in the early 90s. He played in the qualifiers before he was taken to the Nations Cup back then. And since then, we've seen a lot of white colored Nigerians play football. And it was actually a lot of boost for us in 1994 to see our lineup with about one or two of them. I think aside from Ruben, there was somebody else who was also very fair-skinned among our players. And it's a good thing to have this because football doesn't respect colors. Football does not encourage racism. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. You look at the squad for France and you see what they parade. Ordinarily, they have about 9 out of 11 looking dark-skinned and white-skinned. So I think that's what football is about. That's what sports is about. It doesn't matter what you look like. You should be encouraged to show your strength if you are the better players.
Okay, 5 minutes gone in the second half, and we're striking straight at the 50th minute. South Africa with a throw-in against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Quickly taking Hilda with the ball there, looks out to send it pass onto the part of her teammates. That is a weak shot, and that will threaten the Nigerian goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie, who gathers that for the Super Falcons. And she's not in a rush there, but finally putting under pressure, and she gathers the ball for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We should be getting another assist in this encounter. She got an assist against Zambia, and she assisted that goal scored by Yezio against the Zambians in that encounter. Quickly taken there by the Nigerian goalkeepers, straight into the part of the captain, who lost on the ball there, but Nigeria retains the possession. Referee says there was an infringement to the disapproval of the Nigerian fans there. Alimat Ainde was the culprit there, but it was Rashida Tajibade who lost that ball for the Super Falcons. But I think that was a fair challenge. That shouldn't have been a foul call against the Nigerian midfielder. But Linda Motalo finally winning a free kick for the South Africans. Quickly taken there by the South Africans, sends it to the wing, and that is the lady who has been pressuring Nigeria with a lot of crosses in this encounter. Talking about Ramalefe, steals onto the ball. Plumtree winning that for the Super Falcons, trying to play it out. but easily lost out there. South Africa regains possession against the Super Falcons, and they'll be looking to send an in-swinger. Nigeria quickly and easily block their line. Jennifer Echegini on the ball there, drops it straight into the path of the Nigerian captain, and Nigeria looks to attack, but an infringement, an handball there from the South Africa. It's going to be a free kick to Nigeria. Rashida Tajibade, she has really been everywhere for the Super Falcons, doing a lot of defensive work and also moving across the pitch to do attacking duties for the Super Falcons in this game.
Yeah, so Rashida Ajibade has been a very good leader in that team. If you look at the age range, Odega, Rashidat, Azizat, and I think Ohale, those are like the veterans in that team. They've been there for so long.
Funny enough, she's still very young, 25 years old.
And she's been a
But
leader
she has been there for like
Since like
since
18.
forever.
I think she
I
was
remember
employed
I
between
remember her
17
breaking
and
straight into the under 17 at the age of 15 or 14, because she actually played about 2 under 17 tournaments for Nigeria, but she went straight into the Super Falcons from the under 17. So she has really been everywhere, like forever with the team. Yes, even the first time I saw that she was 25, I was really shocked. Like I've seen this girl, I've seen this
You've
lady,
been around for so long.
I've seen this lady play
you-
for
are you
Nigeria
a
since like
Highlander or
about
something?
2014 or 2015. That's when I've
Exactly.
known her playing for the Super Falcons. But she's really she really has that experience. Playing for Atletico Madrid, where she left at the end of last season. She was celebrated in Atletico Madrid. We're waiting to see where she'll be playing her trade come next season. I really want to see her come to the WSL, probably to a team like Everton, because now we have Chiamaka Nadoze with Brighton, and it's really going to be a lot of exposure for the Nigerian ladies if they move straight to the English league or the Spanish female league. Though that Spanish league is a league being dominated by Barcelona. Or equally, the England one is being dominated by Chelsea.
And Real Madrid is coming up too.
Yeah, they have
Real
Real
Madrid
Madrid.
is
They
challenging.
have some beautiful names on
challenging.
players like Linda Caicedo,
Caicedo.
the Ecuadorian midfielder playing a trade with Real Madrid.
Real
A
Madrid.
fantastic player on her own day. Really love to see how competitive the Spanish female league will be next season.
Yeah,
but one name
is
also will be
also a
playing.
very good player. You can see Emoso, she was the one that generated the controversy after their European victory. They're wonderful players out there in Spain and Spanish football. Aside Leon, which has actually been challenging for the Champions League in Europe, Barca has dominated that European female football with Leon for quite a long time. In the last 10 years, the trophy has been between them.
Barca and Leon.
Barca, Leon, Barca, Leon. So I think Real Madrid is challenging it, because this last season, Real Madrid played second, and they actually challenged for the trophy. I think next season they will do more. Arsenal also was able to win the Champions League.
Just this last season, they are the defending champion, defeating Barcelona in the final.
final.
Against all odds, because I actually thought Barcelona was going to win that. But
Exactly.
it was well deserved one for the Arsenal ladies. They came second.
Their
in
road to the final
yeah.
was pretty tough.
It was,
too.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
actually pretty tough, because
they
they had to
deserved
pay.
it.
There was a
And what
chance
do we
for-
have?
was straight
Oh,
into the hands
no.
of the goalkeeper. Another chance falling straight into the path of Esther Okoronkwo. It seems she didn't come into this game with a scoring pool tonight, because her controls
first
and
touch was
first
poor.
touch was actually poor there. Yeah, she was actually trying to go round Mubane, the South African defender there. The beautiful touch was from Michelle Alozie, but the follow-up touch from Esther Okoronkwo actually let her out in that moment. Yes, South Africa back in possession. Nigeria not really giving the South Africans, the time to chill on the ball or try to, utilize the use of the ball. The recovery rate from the Super Falcons has really been great in the second half.
Yeah, because even the recovery rate and the way they press the South Africans is showing in the possession. The possession is fast moving towards 50-50. 44% to Nigeria now, 56% to South Africa. And in the next few minutes, it might just get to 50-50, while Nigeria will begin to dominate possession and chances of scoring. But we haven't seen much chances created by the Nigerian squad in the second half, except for one or two moves, which didn't really look good. You can see Okoronkwo trying to trap the ball, but the first touch gave her away and led the ball straight into the arms of Lamini, who was waiting to pick up a loose ball. We also saw what Alozie said, so okay, but the goalkeeper is there again. And that is dangerous for South Africa, but they will clear their lines.
I think a clearance is not really great like that in this encounter. Wow, beautiful move there from the South Africans as they look to charge against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Trying to send that attack. Wow, finds himself in the box. That should be a penalty. That is a penalty.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Unnecessary there. What a penalty.
That was
given by the
absolutely
South Africans.
unnecessary.
Oale was the one who dashed out that penalty. And out of nothing, South Africans have a lifeline in this encounter.
That was absolutely
by
unnecessary.
she actually had a hand on the lady there. Something like this happened in the first game, but she was so lucky not to be given that penalty. But this time around, she had a hand around the South African player. She was saying that that was actually a fair one, while hands was around the South African players, shoulder there. But let's see what VR will be thinking. That was Hilda going down right there. Is it going to be a free kick or is it a penalty?
It's a penalty.
It's a penalty. I think that referee, that happened at the front of the
was
referee.
right
yes,
behind
she was right
them,
behind there.
and
Finally, South Africa has a lifeline against the
that's
Super Falcons
so
in this
poor for
encounter.
Nigeria.
Hilda winning the penalty for the South Africans, and let's say VR will be having a check on that penalty. Yes, I think the referee is not interested. And finally, Chiamaka might be considering a goal in this competition.
Yeah, of course, Lamini has considered her own goal, so it might be Chiamaka's turn. But let's see how it plays out. Penalties are a game of 50-50. You may just score and you may just lose. It's not much of... you can't guarantee penalties. You shouldn't put a bet on penalty shots.
But shouldn't be a player like Oale, with the old experience playing for the Super Falcons. At first she allowed the South Africa player, on her rear side, which she should be defending more better in that situation, and also, getting her hand around the player in the box, which is not supposed to happen. And Jane, the captain, has a chance from the penalty spot.
It was more of a 1-2-1 situation. The player left the ball for her teammate and then ran behind Ohale. Ohale couldn't catch the pace, and then she decided to assist herself with the arm. Unfortunately, she should have done that outside the penalty area.
Yeah, not in the
before
box.
she got in, not in the box.
Here's an opportunity for South Africa to come back into this encounter right there at the 58th minute of this game. Seems that there's a VAR call right there to check again if that was actually what a penalty or should it be a free kick. Let's see what VAR decision will be right there. And you can see the Nigerian fans are really praying and hoping VAR overturn that, and the referee is not wanting any of the players to come and influence our decision right there. She's still waiting for the final decision of the VAR officials, who are waiting to see if that was worthy of a penalty. But I think it's really going to be a close one, a close decision to be made here by the referee and the VAR officials.
She had a hand on her shoulder. She had a hand on her shoulder.
It might really be a soft one.
If it's a soft one, then you have to look and determine the pressure. How do you determine the pressure? Because she had a hand on her shoulder, and then she went right down. It's a penalty.
It's a penalty. The referee says it's a penalty. Having gone to the VAR.
And she's so happy to say that, her decision has to be the one.
Yes, has to be. It's just probably one of those things that you don't really expect in a game of football. South Africa dishing out a free kick, penalty to the Super Falcons at the later stage of the first half. And Linda Mutalo with a chance of scoring against the Super Falcons. Let's see if that is going to be a goal against the Super Falcons. Linda Mutalo going forward, and that is the equalizer from the South Africa. Sends the Nigerian goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadoze the wrong way in the second time. Finally, both goalkeepers who are yet to consider this competition have finally considered a goal. Linda Mutalo with the equalizer, also from the penalty spot. And you can see her telling the Nigerian fans to actually keep it short right there.
Well, we actually can't tell who she was referring to, but she had a hand to her lips and in a signal that appeared like stop talking. However, we know she might just be referring to some of her haters from South Africa. However it is, it's 1-1, it's game on. Nigeria 1, South Africa 1. Super Falcons and Banyana. The game resumes as equal.
Okay, so finally, let's see who's going to get the winner in this one, because we've had 1 hour of football in this encounter. And unfortunately, both goals were scored from the penalty spot. Linda Mutalo with the equalizer for South Africa. Rashida Tajibade with the first goal for the Super Falcons on the 45th minute. Let's see if this is going to be a motivational factor for the South Africans to see if they can actually push up against the Super Falcons. Attacking wise, we've not really seen much from the Super Falcons in the second half.
Yes, that's exactly what I observed. I think it's time Nigeria makes a call now. Ihezuo is not in this game. She's not performing much. And we need to have somebody who can actually be tricky in that area. You can't be playing wings and just use power. You have to be tricky. The defenders know you are going to run, so they put their legs in the way. They wait for you. But you have somebody like Demola Lukman who can be trickish, who can play the flank, and who can play properly, or do 1-to-1 or 1v1 moves, and we'll have a better chance at scoring. Nigerian squad, the Falcons haven't made much attempt at scoring in the second half. And this is not good for this encounter. The game is back to 1-1. The advantage has been lost because of a very silly foul made by Oghale, who is supposed to be one of the most experienced defenders in the squad. Unfortunately, she didn't calculate that properly. I know she wanted to do that outside the 18-yard, but she carried it into the 18-yard, which was a silly mistake the team is suffering from. But the coaches and the technical crew should actually step up to this, make some changes, remotivate the players, give them some impetus with the changes so that they can go out and fight again. The spirit is dull now.
Finally, South Africa was made their second substitution in this encounter. Nazolo Katsane will play for Melomodi Sundowns in the South Africa League, has been brought on into this game and replaced the tormentor-in-chief of the Nigerians in this encounter, Rama Lefe, in this encounter. So let's see what Katsane will be bringing into this one. We should be bringing the pressure against the Nigerians. She's a fantastic player on her own. The Nigerian possession, lost possession. The South Africans have been the better side in the second half, and they look to attack against the Super Falcons and see if they can get their second goal in this one as they approach us. Gado with the ball there for South Africa. What will she make of the ball? We have Jamilusi doing defensive work. The referee says that was a fair challenge and the last place to cut. A beautiful piece of skill from Jamilusi.
That's Rashidat.
Long one there into the part of Rashidat Ajibade in the middle of the park there. It's a free kick to the Super Falcons of Nigeria right there in the 63rd minute of this encounter. 30 more minutes to play in this encounter. Who is going to get the winner, or will this be going beyond the 90 minutes at the end of the day?
Yeah, so I think the Nigerian girls have to step up now. The Nigerian women, pardon me, have to step up. And yes, a change is about to be made.
No, that's Jennifer.
And I think it's Jen. Oh, okay, she's only returning.
Yeah, she's returning to the pitch. I think she's having problem with her eyes. I think Motalo actually got her finger into her eye in that moment. So it's a free kick to the Super Falcons of Nigeria who are currently playing.
Creative as a change in it has been because that position requires creativity. Rashidat has been doing a lot more of defensive work and holding play as well as Anyide. Anyide challenged a lot. Anyide has been doing so much there. That help will be needed for somebody who can take the pressure off the team and put it back on the opposing team. And that's what we expect from Uchebe in this game.
Okay, Christy Uchebe, the 24 years old who plies her trade with Benfica female team in the Portuguese league. She also has a lot of experience right there in that young body. South Africa back in possession, looking to attack against the Nigerian side. 25 more minutes to play in this one. Who is going to get the winner? South Africa finds himself very close to the Nigerian box. Mitalo on the ball there, finds her teammates. What would they make out of that? Returns it into the middle of the park. Nigeria doing a lot of defensive work right now. He crosses into the box there, but won't get straight to the South African striker, Sofo Soweni, right there. So straight into the hands of the Nigerian goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie. That was an inviting cross, an interesting inviting cross there from Sagado. By the end of the end there was no South Africa player to get the finishing touch on that one. Nigeria back in possession, looks to attack right now. Uchebe with her first touch in this one, returns it back into the middle of the park where she finds her teammate, returns it back to the goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie. Nnadozie with the ball there and switches position, finds Ohale. Ohale returns it back to Chiamaka. Chiamaka holds onto the ball, asks the main, asks for the ball, and finds the main with the ball. The main comes forward with the ball for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. She still holds onto the ball, finds herself in the South Africa territory, and the main tries to play it. But here's a chance for South Africa to attack against Nigeria. And that was almost evading the Nigerian defenders, but Chiamaka onto the rescue for the Super Falcons there.
I think Plumter should have done better there when the ball was given to her. She actually stayed back. She didn't move forward to attack the ball, and therefore the South African defender will go for it. And that could have led to a very difficult situation for her team. And she couldn't even track back. Either she was too tired or unwilling to track back. Whatever it was, she didn't do enough in that position. Plumter could have done better.
And I was the end product there. Folashade Jabo and also the ball. Yes, Nigeria regaining possession. They're just passing it to each other right now.
They're just giving it to the opponents on the other side.
With a long one aimed at Esther Okoronkwo, and Esther wins the ball and wins the throw-in for the Super Falcons in that moment. 69 minutes gone in that encounter. It's still 1-1 between Nigeria and South Africa. It has really been an interesting tie between both sides, but the Nigerian attackers have not really come to the party.
Yeah, because they 20 minutes into the game with less than 23
that is
minutes
another
to play.
injury scare to the Nigerians there. Alimat Ayinde currently down there.
Nigeria cannot do with Ayinde right now.
And there's also Deborah Abiodun on the bench.
Nobody can do what Ayinde is doing in this game. She has been the rock of that midfield.
Yeah, at the age of 30, talking about Ayinde Alimat, who currently flies a trade right there in the, what's it called, for Rosengard in the Norwegian league, if I'm not mistaken. There, Alimatu Ayinde, 30 years old, really been there for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 78th minute on mark there. We have 20 more minutes to play in regulation time. Who is going to get that late winner in the second half? Will there be late dramas? Or are we going straight into extra times after 90 minutes? I just hope this game ends within 90 minutes for Christ's sake.
It's actually a prayer, not just a hope. It's better ended in 90 minutes. Otherwise, we'll be dragging for another 45 minutes, not just 30 minutes, because should they go into extra time and don't finish, they will get a break, and then they will take penalties, and that's another 15 minutes to execute. So we're looking at another 45, 45, and 45 if it doesn't end at the second 45. So the hope is we get it to end here and Nigeria gets to win in regulation time.
And
Nigeria has a chance.
On the ball for Nigeria there. A cross into the box. Wasted effort there from Ijami Lucy. And it's going to be a goal kick to the South Africans. And she's currently on the top there. It hasn't really looked like a good game from Folashade Ijami Lucy in this encounter.
Yes, it hasn't been her best game, but with her position and what she has brought to the table, a lot better than what Ihezue has brought into this game. Both of them play the same wings.
Yeah,
they play opposite wings. And this one delivers more than the other one. And you can see her strained, hamstring, semimembranosos were being strained, and she had to stretch them a bit. What useless move was that from that central midfielder? That was a useless move. Why do that?
Okay, she was actually she was thanking her stars. That was Uchebe there.
That's Uchebe.
Losing the ball in the middle of the park for the Super Falcons. South Africa takes a throw in. Nigeria gets possession, returns it back to the South Africans. I don't really know. Both teams are actually struggling, teasing one or two passes, stinging passes amongst each other. But they are doing it easy when they are doing it against each other. South Africa sent the pass to the Nigerians, and Nigerians returning the favor back to the South Africa in lifetimes.
I think you see the law of diminishing return is happening to them. They're possibly exhausted.
And when we look at female football, for Christ's sake, at the same time when we're having the WAFCON is when we're having the European Female Women's Nations League also. And don't forget the semi-final between the English, the Lioness of England, and the Italians will be coming up later tonight. And another beautiful one will surely be that game between Spain and Germany. Both are worthy competitors. I was fortunate to see that game between Spain and Switzerland. And you could see the fluidity, the technicality,
the smoothness
and you come back to
games.
Africa, you look at how far we are behind to the pace at which these teams.
Oh my God.
That should be is that going to be another penalty? That was almost the chance for the South Africans to get the second goal right there. But that's will be going to the back of the net. Referee says also on the fringe there, it should be a free kick to South Africa. The Nigerians were lucky right there in what would have been the second goal for the South Africa. Look at that team fighting.
Nigerians were lucky. The striker
was
such a weak. She was such a short-legged, weak player. If it was a longer-legged player, she would have had the ball.
She did everything right there. It has to be.
But it was for the length of the legs. Look at the legs.
Wally coming back to do defensive work for the Super Falcons and stopping
No,
that on the line
it
there.
was too slow. He
And
couldn't have
that
done
was the
it.
chance there for the South Africans. Spotting the jersey number 6 there, was presented with that chance for the South Africa goal. My lady there, Nasolo Kasane, almost getting the second goal. South Africa with a free kick. The goal shots this time around, and it's the number 7 with the ball. Sends an in swinger. Without Debbie gets an head onto that. So the Super Falcons clears the lines halfway and into the part of the Nigerians. Uchebe there. Uchebe tries to play in a teammate. With the captain, he gets onto that. Yes, gets onto that. Ashida Tajibade with the ball for the Super Falcons. And she sends it onto the line there for Mitchell Aloze to chase. But Aloze seems to look tired out. And
No, it
looks
wasn't
like
her
fatigue.
ball. She gave it to the opponent. It's not Aloze's ball. She gave it to the opponent.
Again,
They're
it's
both
like-
flat. They're all flat-footed. They are tired. You're comparing them to Europeans. No,
Yeah.
there are a few factors that won't work for the African players. One is the temperature. They're playing in an environment that is hot. I think the temperature should be about 28, 30 as it is. And they might get tired and fagged out easily. Also, I observed they've not been observing water breaks in this
Yeah.
game. That should be part of this kind of game. You should be taking water from time to time.
Finally, we have the first yellow
a
card
break.
of this encounter. And straight to the Nigerian midfielder, Anyinde.
No, that's Uchebe.
No, that's Anyinde.
Oh, that's
Alimatu
Anyinde?
Yes, and
Okay,
getting the
Anyinde.
first yellow card in this encounter.
Oh, wow.
Took one for the
Deservedly.
team there. But also, when we talk about the Europeans and the Africans, yes, and I think that's one of the reasons why we struggle to make a mark right there at the world stage or at the Olympics when we go on to play against the European opponent. We saw the Nigeria against Spain at the last Olympics. It was nothing to write home about for the Super
It won't
Falcons.
be anything to write home about. They are much more
And
organized.
even in that same group, we lost against the Brazil. We basically lost all our games. We lost against Brazil, lost against Japan, and also lost against what's it called, Spain. So it's more like Nigerians are looking like a local champion
Yes,
right
we
now.
are. We are local champions in the women's football. As much as
What's that from Rashida?
as much as we're superheroes in Africa, we go out there to disgrace the nation. Unfortunately, you can't blame the women overly because even the boys do that too. But the boys still make some efforts to play draw with Argentina here and there. They defeat Spain here and there at a time. But the women football has not even evolved to that level. We don't have that kind of leadership, that kind of strength to face the European opponents or even South American opponents at the world level. So this is the best time and best place to shine. Why is this girl always doing this?
Nice Wale there. Returns it back to the goalkeeper, Nadoze. Nadoze will send a long one into the South African half there. Easily won there by the South Africans who are winning all the area duels against the Nigerians attackers, and this one sends it back. Mbane on the ball there, and she returns it back to the goalkeeper. Talking about Lamini there, returns it back to the player, the South African players, as they look to attack against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Kasane on the ball there, drops it straight into the part of the teammate there, returns it back to the middle of the park. Linda returns it back to Kasane. Kasane will come forward with the ball for the South Africans. We're right there at the 77th minute, 13 more minutes to play in regulation time. Who is going to get us the winner in this encounter?
I still don't know why much changes have not been made. We haven't seen much technical changes being made in this game. It is obvious some legs are tired, some are really, really weak. They are no longer in it. Have you seen Hihizwe in this game in the last 10 minutes?
No.
What's he still doing on the field? What's she still doing on the field? So we should have, Nigeria should have made some changes. One of them should have been Iheze, and the other one should have been Plumter. I think Plumter is out of the game already. We need to have more legs.
Is it possible to take out Plumtree from the defense?
We should have another player. She's tired.
Yeah, looking
She's
at the defense,
obviously
I think
tired.
we have capable name in some player
I
like
think we have
Sikarat
enough
Isa and Shukurat Oladipo.
Yeah, Shukurat can play that role.
Shukurat can actually play that role. She has a fantastic season with AS Roma in the Italian female league. Sorry, not Syria this time around. And here's Nigeria holding onto the ball, looking to attack against the South Africa. A long one there. Tries to play it into the part of Esther Okoronkwo. And Esther Okoronkwo at the end of this game will also be looking at the chances she has actually missed in this game and feel like, yes, if she had pulled those chances into the back of net, probably Nigeria might have started a chance in this one. A long one there from the South Africans, trying to tease the Nigerian goalkeeper. Beautiful shot there from the South African number 12 there. Talking about this was that again. That's the striker, Sopo Senwe. Almost getting one against the Nigerians. The typical striker shots there, but couldn't calculate the needed height to put that into the back of the net.
Yeah, you can actually see that the Nigerian girls are just gambling now. Nigerian women are gambling. They play long balls, just trying to look for something. Whereas the
I
South
think the
Africans,
referee, the Nigerian coach is right there. He should be saying that these girls are tired. They're tired out.
They're gambling. They're just pushing the ball, looking for anything. Just put it in the opponent's area. Let's see what can happen. Unfortunately, the South Africans are more into this game. They are very composed. If you look at the gameplay in the last 15 minutes, South Africa has been more calculative. They have been much
I won't
more.
be surprised if the South Africans get some.
They deserve. They are going to deserve it right now. They have taken game statistics presently. South Africa is still leading in terms of ball holding, 56% possession. 8 fouls against Nigeria's 14 fouls. It means Nigeria has just been fouling them up and down. Yellow card, 1 for Nigeria. And then shots at goal have been 3 for South Africa, 5 for Nigeria. And then shots off target, 6 for South Africa. And 3 for Nigeria.
It shows how
It
wasteful
shows
the South
exactly.
Africans
No,
are
it shows the attempts they are making. They are getting close calls. Nigeria hasn't improved here. Shots at goal for Nigeria was 1 at the end of the first half. We've only made 2 up shots at goal, and we haven't increased the number of shots on target. Just 1, which was a loose ball. So Nigeria has not done much in the second half, and the second half has gone up to 29 minutes, or up to 39 minutes, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, we're straight at the 80th minute. 10 more minutes to play in the second half of the second half. It looks like yes, we'll be in for late dramas in the second half between the Nigerians and the South Africans. You can see the Nigerian girls looks like fatigue has finally come in check in this one. Nigeria losing possession in the middle of the park. They are losing all those duels right now. The South Africans are regaining those duels also in this one. That was that header from Uchebe and back in play. Plumtree, we gathered that for the Super Falcons, but in the process gave out a free kick to the South Africans. We are straight into the 80th minute and the last 10 minutes of the second half. Not the kind of 40 minutes, not the kind of 35 minutes we would have expected in the second half. We're hoping to have an interesting second half, but it has really been a cagey affair between both sides. We can see Deborah Abiodun being about to be thrown in there by the Nigerian side, yes, and it's also Alimat Ajinde will be replaced in the second half. Let's see what Deborah Abiodun will be bringing up into this game.
Yeah, so we need that position. You should be able to tackle hard in that position. And
She's
has
also,
done.
funny enough, the problem with Deborah is Deborah gets yellow cards easily.
Well, that position requires it. She's going to be the pivot. They're going to be the DM. So to hold in that area, you need to be going down a lot. Got to be hard on the players coming at you, and you have to dive into virtually all tackles. Ayinde has done a lot in this game. If you ask me in the midfield, between Ayinde and Rashidat Ajibade, both of them, I will get my top marks in this game. They have performed beautifully well, and she deserves to be rested. Should Nigeria make it to the finals, we will need her to be available and strong. So let's see what Deborah can bring to play. But in the attack, we have not seen Ihizue perform anything.
I don't know why she's still on
And
the
she's
stage
still
for
on that
82 minutes.
field. What is the interest between Waldrom and
No, it's not Waldron. That is we have the manager is Justice Magudu.
Magudu? Why are we still reading Waldrom up and down?
That has to be the site, Well, Justice Magudu is the manager of the Super Falcons, and we'll be waiting to see if he'll be springing those substitution any moment from now, because we have just about 8 more minutes to play in the second half of the second half. Mitchell Alozie with a long throw for the Super Falcons. South Africa regaining it and winning almost all the duels in this game in the second half. It has really been a poor one from the Super Falcons. They've not been able to penetrate through the South Africans' midfield line in this second half. That should be a free kick to the Super Falcons. Just rightly given there as the captain, Rashidat Ajibade, was brought down there. You can see the Nigerian manager. I don't really know what to be going through his head there. I'm talking about Justice Magudu. There's a free kick to the Super Falcons with Rashidat Ajibade being brought down in that moment. So Nigeria will be looking to restart from the free kick. 83 minutes gone in the second half. 7 more minutes to go in this one. 7 more minutes for Nigeria and South Africa to find that late winner against each other, or we prepare for another 30 minutes of football.
I just hope Nigeria can do something here. We still have about 10 minutes. Regulation time, 8 minutes. Let's hope we get another 5 minutes for added time, making about 7 minutes plus the 8, 15 minutes max. That's likely what we're going to get max before the final blow here. Should Nigeria put one in between the nets of the South Africans right now, Nigeria may well retract and then put a block on their own goalpost, form a train there.
Nice if Olale won't give out another penalty.
Well, we will hope we'll take our chances and hope. Let's just get a goal first and be in the lead and hope that something. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. What was that for? What was that for? There was a chance. Instead of going for the chance, they went for the head of the player. Oh, they've injured the player terribly. Oh, she must be bleeding already.
I just hope that won't be a yellow card.
No, there's not just going to be a yellow card. It's a terrible incident there. You could see the players covering their faces. She must have hit somebody on the face with a stud, and that's really, really tragic. That's so sad. And oh no, it has to be an ambulance. It's not just the immediate response crew. They're going to need to carry the lady out immediately.
That's just what VAR decision will be there. Hope that won't be a penalty. Hope that won't be a red card.
That's terrible.
Against the Nigerian side. Oh, she's...
No, she's not the one.
She's not the one.
She's just sorry for the injured. I think it was a terrible, terrible injury.
And not just the South Africans, even the Nigerian ladies are actually feeling bad about that. that's to be about female football. And you can see how emotional they are all about that.
Yeah.
I remember Musiala also getting, a bad injury against...
That's ankle break.
Yeah, that ankle break against PSG.
I saw the tackle and I told somebody, I said, that's both a fracture and a dislocation. And he said, it might just be a dislocation. I said, no. The fracture came and the dislocation followed. So when the report came out and they said he had a fracture dislocation, a fracture of the tibia as well as the fibula, and then dislocation of the ankle joint. I said, but that was, why did he put his leg in that position? He needn't put his leg in that position. You can't find Ronaldo's leg in that position. You can't find Messi's leg in that position. As hungry as you are, the goalkeeper had a cover on the ball, and Musiala put his leg in between the goalkeeper's arms and legs. So the moment the keeper went down, the pressure on his ankle broke the leg. It was a terrible, terrible tackle.
What are the chances of Nigeria getting the red card in this moment?
Not very high. This will have been a mistake. It might not even attract a yellow card because it was an attempt to do a scissors kick that backfired. It was a bad accident from the look of players and coaches. Was definitely a bad accident. Must have injured her.
It looks like it's Sagado, the South African winger there, who actually took one for our team there.
It's a lot for her team,
yes,
not just
like,
one.
The face is not actually good. And back to Musiala's injury. Like how many months should we be expecting not to see Musiala?
He sustained a multiple injury. That is a complicated fracture. A fracture with a dislocation. At the location of the dislocation, which is a critical point for this game, ankle, you will need about 6 months to get the ankle restored. And then the fracture itself is going to heal fast. Maximum 3 months, the fracture is done. But the ankle recovery might take longer. Musiala might spend 9 months before he can return to full play.
Is it possible to still have Musiala, at his very best capacity?
It is possible because he's still a young man, but it depends on the kind of rehabilitation.
The number of injuries he has been having over time. Last season wasn't really, the best for him.
But that particular injury was very bad for him. He shouldn't have put his leg.
I couldn't check that video out twice.
I saw the match live.
I couldn't check it twice. I couldn't check that injury twice. Even the goalkeeper, Donnarumma, at first he didn't really know what was happening, but the moment he just checked his back and saw Musiala,
it was close to what happened at the time in Premiership. I think it was an Arsenal player and a Man City player. The fracture was so obvious. I can't remember the player involved now. It was one of the popular players. It was a broken bone and an injured ankle. For him, it might take up to 9 months to full recovery. But it depends on the rehabilitation, because I think it started about a month ago. That was the first or second match of the Club World Cup.
Second match. No, that was the quarterfinal.